baby, coming in hot.
That's what it is. Okay, good morning. We're live. Oh my goodness. Thank you guys for your patience. We're a couple minutes behind schedule. We've got, long story short, we got upper limits and we got the universe testing us and making sure we're ready to go to our next level. And we told you we were going to be open and honest. So we won't go into it because there's no point in venting, because Teresa and I already discussed it once. And that's what we want to talk about today is and we kind of touched on this last week a little bit, but it's worth reiterating and kind of focusing on it this week, because we don't need and don't want to bring more attention to something that was unfavorable than we need to, right? Like for those of you guys who are watching live or, within the next few days, you saw that I just finished a 2-day live series that I called Mastering the Void. And I said in there, the reason why I'm doing this live one time is because I don't want to rehash what happened 1,000 times. I even had my family members wait to watch the video because I don't want to talk about the stressful things that happened more times than I need to. I think it's valuable to share the insights and the experiences, and that's what Teresa and I are doing here. But it's not necessary, and it's definitely not beneficial to continue to revolve around the same thing, right? And, like Teresa said, right before we hopped on, we as women, we're trained to gossip. We're trained to vent. We're trained to bitch about every little thing to every person, because that's just how community works. Because unfortunately, it's easier to, what's the word I'm looking for? Like connect with people over negative things, because it's
over traumas.
Yes. Because when we try to connect over, Teresa and I have had this too. It's hard to, even now, years in, it's hard to walk into a room and just start talking about love and light and manifesting and magic and all this, because people don't always receive it well, right? But it's easier, and we don't do this, but I have done this. It's easier to walk into a room and just start bitching about the weather or the temperature or what just happened at the grocery store, or this asshole that cut me off in traffic or whatever, right? Like it's not productive at all.
Yeah. And it came up because I was somewhere and the men were like talking about their wives and how they complain about stuff and this and that. And then one of them asked me, what the work that you do, what do you do? I said, I do, energy healing and mindset coaching about, you are the creator of your reality. And then he was like, so what do you think, how do I combat this issue with my wife? And he said, every time we have a problem or she has a problem in general, I'm her husband. So she wants to call me and she wants to complain about all these things. He's like, but it's consistent. It's over and over and over. He's like, and do you believe that she's creating this same scenario and the same reality for herself over and over for us as, a couple? And I said, absolutely. Because anything that we give our energy or attention to is making it grow. Like we've said before, we speak our lives into existence. Our thoughts are creating things always, 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 always. And no conversation goes unheard by the universe. It doesn't say, oh, this person is venting. Don't take that energy from, what they're saying and create something with it. It's bad. It's negative. It doesn't do that. No. And he was saying, I believe that she's keeping herself stuck. And I said, absolutely. That's something that I stopped doing. I used to do that every time I had a problem. Let me call my friend. Why? Because it feels better. You're having people understand. And it's a little bit of a victim mentality and not even realizing it.
Yeah. Well, right? It's like a safety net to fall into a girlfriend. Like I remember you and I having conversations when we didn't know any better. Right. And it's like, and you had already talked to this person and that person and this person, and I'm hearing it too. But I want to be there for you too. So there's the other side of it too, is your friends, they want to be for you. And that's something that we can go into. We can go into it in a minute, but it's like, it gets to a point where you realize what's going on. And then you get to a point where like, I don't really want to tell anybody about it. Like, I know that, like, for example, my parents, like they want to know when something stressful is happening, but at the same time, I don't want to bring more energy to it. And I don't need other people bringing energy to it and focusing on it. Right.
Yeah. That, okay. We need to like
back up.
Double up on that one too. So it's true now. And I didn't even think about that until right now. Not only are you speaking it into existence over and over, now you have this person giving you their full fucking attention, focusing on that same problem, helping you solidify it even more in your reality. You know, and this I seen one of the teachers that I follow and stuff, and in her program, her and her mother, they actually both focus on the same issue that the person is having, or a manifestation that they want to bring in. They both focus on it with that person, and it like brings in their manifestation so fast. So think about that for a second. That, I mean, I didn't even think about it that way until right now as we're speaking. You know, stop the fucking venting. And that's what I told the guy. I was like, I don't do that anymore. I used to do that all day long. And then also it's a little bit unfair to the person that you're speaking to, because then you're dumping all of your emotions and everything on them. And they were having a great fucking day until you told them. And I mean, that's part of, you know, who we are as humans, wanting to be there and console each other and everything like that. But how about we have conversations about different shit now? You know, let's be delulu, as they say.
Yeah.
You know, let's call each other and be like, guess what? Such and such and such, so amazing, so beautiful, so strong.
Yeah.
Even though we know it's kind of bullshit, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if we keep telling that bullshit that we were going through over and over. It never leaves your fucking reality. That's just the way that this is. It will never, ever leave.
No.
Because we're giving it our attention.
Well, exactly. And there's a difference between venting for the sake of venting and telling somebody something with the intention of getting guidance. Like Teresa and I both, now being far enough down the road on this, we know, not only do I know not to repeat something unless I want help with it, but I know as soon as I tell her something, she's going to give me the dose of reality that I need if I don't see it myself, and vice versa, right? I'm never going to say something to somebody just for the sake of bitching about something. And I say this to my clients too, like, look, I only want to hear your problem one time. After that, we better be talking about solutions. We better be talking about new angles to look at it. We better be talking about perspective shifts. Like, I don't need to hear the same problem. And I'm not trying to be a bitch. It's just like, look, we talked about it. I have the information I need. Now let's move forward. But if you want to stay in that and you want to complain, and you, like we're talking about, you give more energy to it. Plus, now you've dumped on somebody else and potentially ruined their day. You know, like, and I did see somewhere, this is more like a relationship thing, but I heard somebody say, like, it's a really good idea before you unload something on somebody to ask them if they have the mental and emotional capacity in that moment to even listen, you know? So that's something too.
I even say, if I absolutely have to, which I try not to anymore, but I'll be like, hey, look it, I got to tell you this, whatever you do, place yourself in a circle of protection right now, a circle of light, you know, and just say what's hers is hers, what's mine is mine. Cleanse her energy as it comes through me, cleanse my energy as it goes through her, because I don't want you to hold on to it, because it's true. We do that. I mean, that's exactly what happens. They take it on, and as they're listening to the story, the subconscious doesn't know that it's not them. That's not their experience. It takes it on with your whole nervous system and everything, as if you are actually living that experience out, or that trauma that somebody is telling you about. So
yeah, exactly. And that is exactly why it is so important to take stock of the people that you're surrounding yourself with. And not even just people, everything you're absorbing, every channel you're watching, every show you're into, every book you're reading, every phone call you're overhearing, like people you're hanging out with, like when they say you are the sum of the 5 people you spend the most time with, that's true. And it goes further than just like physical reality. It's people you talk to online. It's people you follow on Instagram. It's because if you're around people who are complaining, you are going to be the 5th guy who's complaining. But if you're around people who are successful, or at least talking about goals and moving forward, and like, you don't have to complain to have a good conversation with somebody. You don't have to commiserate over shit. You know what I mean? Like, Teresa and I have amazing conversations about where we're going and what we're learning and sharing, you know that saying,
private jets, vacations.
Yeah, private jets. Yeah, we're always sharing the private jet.
Speaking about the things that we want to bring in, the things that we want to keep in our reality. And this is, I mean, how many times do we see, write a new story, write a new story, write a new story. You're the creator, write a new story. But I think people just look at it like, oh yeah, okay, cool, write a new story. No, literally, this is what this
Yeah.
is saying. Write a new fucking story. Like, our pen and paper has so much magic, literally, right? We talked about, you can do affirmations or visualizations or whatever, but I feel, I mean, I combine them all.
Yeah,
But
me too.
when I'm in that creative mode, I'm getting my blue pen, my paper, and I'm just letting my imagination go wild. And then these are the things that I'm speaking every day. You know what I'm saying? I even tell the people around me, I'm going to call you today and we're going to act delusional as hell. But let me tell you, it fucking works.
Of
It
course it does.
works. It's always two or more. Yeah, we can do this whole manifestation, this whole life on our own, which we have to at some, to some extent, but having somebody else creating with you, the energy is so damn powerful and you'll see the effects. You'll
Yeah.
see it. I mean, we're here right now.
Well, you know what's
We're here
so
right
funny is
now.
I had a realization like last night, opposite to, I said earlier in this session, I said about, like if I tell my parents what's going on, then they're focusing on my problem too. And I was thinking about the opposite of that last night. I was like, man, Teresa and I are both manifesting the success of our podcast, of our individual businesses, of whatever ends up coming, down the road. So, I mean, when you're singly manifesting, it can't not happen. Like anything that's meant for you is going to find a way. You may block it longer than you need to, but it will come eventually. Like you're going to hit a wall and it'll come. But like Teresa's saying, when you work with somebody or are manifesting a similar, like this is why you want to surround yourself with people who have goals and shit. You know what I mean? Like this
It's
is
the
why.
momentum, the
Yeah.
build, it happens so much faster. I mean, it's like you're
Well,
bulldozing through resistance, you know?
exactly. And the thing is, when you have, a manifesting buddy, which I guess is what we've been this whole time, is like, I'm never going to say to anybody, that you can't have what you want. That won't work that way. It's not going to, no, like if that's what you want, then that's what you're meant to have. And it might not come the way that you see it coming now, because part of it is you don't know what you don't know. And the universe knows exactly what you need. So like, for example, I thought to live in a beach house at some point while we were in Nicaragua. It didn't end up working out that way, but in the long run, I may not know what the reason was, but I do know that it just wasn't meant. It just, for whatever reason, it wasn't meant for me. And it's not like it didn't happen because I'm not good at manifesting. It didn't work out because maybe the ocean would have been too loud. Maybe it would have been too much salt water coming in. Maybe my son, well, actually thinking about it now, my son has really bad allergies to the dust in the sand. I bet that would have been a freaking nightmare just thinking about that now. But anyway, yeah. So like my point is though, like everything that you want will work out the way that you thought or better, like always. But we need to follow the breadcrumbs. You're only going to be drawn to what you're drawn to, right? But if you surround yourself with people who have big ideas and big thoughts and big dreams and even little dreams, if they have dreams at all, if they're just not if they're even just grateful for what they have and they're not complaining, right, that's good enough.
Yeah. And like one thing for me is when I hear the word be realistic, I'm just like, it makes my skin cringe. Yeah. And that's where it comes in, the people you surround yourself with. And you'll see there was people who were around me that everything I said was be realistic. Be realistic. And I'm like, what the fuck do you mean be realistic? Do you know what be realistic means? That means that you are so fucking closed-minded. I know it sounds kind of mean, but it's like, I just kind of looked at them like, damn, you're never going to leave your fucking box that you're in, because this whole world, being a manifester, being a creator of your reality, your imagination is there for a fucking reason. Being realistic cannot exist in your fucking vocabulary, period. And how many times have parents told kids that?
Yeah.
I heard that so much growing up. Be realistic. One was saying be realistic. The other one was saying shoot for the stars. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But whoever I felt closer to at that time was the one who was influencing me more.
Yeah.
Same thing now as the friends that we have around us, Thank God that we are awake and we know this, but for everybody else, like, start paying attention, listen to the words that they're speaking. You know, if they feel like things are not attainable or you can't achieve certain shit, those are not the ones that you want to be around.
No, I
Like, I
mean,
want the ones that fucking talk crazy, that people think that they're a conspiracy theorist, or, you know, they're like, we're going to be on our private jets by the end of the year. Yeah,
yeah,
let's fucking go. We're going to be on it. Then you got the other one like, oh, you guys are crazy. That's going to take you like 10 fucking years. You're never going to stop. Just stop. Save that. Like, you got to cut it off.
no,
And
you have to.
you don't have to be rude. You know, I just say, like, I love you very much, but I'm never going to think the way that you think,
Yeah,
you know?
I just say, you know what? Everything's always working out for me, so we'll find
Yeah.
out.
Yeah.
Like,
I think
it makes me sad a little bit. Like, it's too bad that they can't come around, but also you can't force it either. Like, they
you
have to
can't,
come when they're
you
ready.
can't, you
So,
can't. And that's what I was going to say today too, is like, I think everybody watching this, if you take anything away from this today, just start saying, whether you fucking believe it or not, everything's always working out for me. Everything is always working out for me. Everything is always working out for me. Like, and I want you to come back and comment on these videos after you start doing this, what starts transforming for you,
yeah.
what starts transpiring, because it will. Something that simple. Instead of, you know, because I think a lot of people get overwhelmed. Okay, well, where should I start? And what should I say here? What should I say there? What should I cut out? Blah, blah, blah. No, let's just start with one simple thing. Everything is always fucking working out for me, and watch how your life starts changing.
Well, it's insane. And I was literally talking about this earlier on my other live, but I mean, it works on so many levels because you're training your subconscious, you're reprogramming your subconscious with this belief, plus your brain, your reticular activating system, like literally, like scientifically, like your brain is
Yep.
literally being wired to look for proof of this being true because it's too much energy to try to prove you wrong. So your brain's job is just to prove you right and project what you already believe out, right? And then find things that agree with what you already believe and align you with that because it's just less energy because your brain burns so many calories, right? And it's like a survival thing back from when we were like cavemen. We haven't evolved
Yeah.
past that yet, right? So whatever. So, and then
Excuse me.
because every time your reticular activating system points out to you how, hey, that worked out for me, that worked out for me, that worked out for me. And then law of attraction kicks in because now you're focusing and seeing all this proof and you're going, oh my God, like this is amazing. My life is working out. And you have to, I'm telling you, you know, like I've been saying, 2023 was a rough year for me. And if I was not already living by that mantra, I don't even know what would have happened. But because I know that everything is always working out for me, it was so much easier to make it through everything because I knew even if I like, you have to understand, even if you cannot see the reason, the lesson that like you can't see how it's working out, it is. I promise you it is. And if you believe it, I mean that's the best part. If you believe it, it has to be true anyway. So it doesn't even matter if I mean what I'm telling you is true,
Right.
but all you have to do is yourself decide that it's true for you, and then you'll start seeing proof of it in your reality too.
And
Like it's
and here's the thing too, even if you don't believe it's true, it's okay. The more you repeat it, and this is where I'm starting to make the connection with the robotic affirmations,
yes, yeah.
right? Because at first we don't believe half of this shit. It's
Mhm.
like you're talking and you're like, okay, well, this is crazy because yeah, this has never existed in my reality and this hasn't. But
Yeah.
when you do the robotic affirming, you're repeating it over and over and over and over. You repeat it so many damn times that it starts like, okay, like, yeah, this is a fucking thing. Yeah, this is. Your neuronal pathway in your brain starts changing to turn it into a belief by you
Well,
repeating it.
yes, exactly. Well, I mean, that's the whole thing. That's the whole thing with affirmations and robotic affirming and all of, well, affirming of any kind, any of this work, right? We are literally rewiring our brains. And a belief, like any belief you have, is just a thought that you've thought enough times that it's become this strong belief, right? So if you
Yep.
stop giving attention to how, everything's expensive and I don't have enough this and I want more of that and I don't have this relationship and blah, and you start just focusing on everything is always working out for me, that will change your life. Because like Teresa's saying, even if you don't believe it at first, the more you repeat it, the more like every time you say it, it sinks further and further into your belief system. And then your RAS is like, oh my God, okay, well, she keeps saying this, so I better show her proof of how this is true. And then it's just, it's like a
Yeah.
beautiful,
Because
beautiful
the
cycle.
belief, like you said, the belief is the thought being thought over and over and over. Your
Yep,
thought
that's it.
being thought over and over and over becomes a belief. our system, our subconscious mind, the reticular activating system, it all is operated from the belief. So we're repeating it over and over, boom, becomes a belief. It's like it's a done deal. It's so
exactly. And this is why Teresa and I also preach listening to subliminals, right? Because it's,
yes,
again, it's just, it's more of the same thoughts, the more of the same phrases that are being thought while being, whether you're thinking it or you're hearing it, it doesn't matter either way, which is why, again, you have to be careful about what you consume, right? Because you're, like Teresa said a few minutes ago, your brain doesn't know the difference between something that's happening to somebody else and something that's happening to you. Everything is happening to you, to your subconscious mind. Everything is true for you and everything is happening to you. And there is no negatives. Like there's no negating anything. So when you say, I don't want to be poor, you know what I mean? Like your brain is hearing, I want to be poor. It doesn't hear the don't. That doesn't, because all that happens is your subconscious focuses on the subject matter of the thing that you're thinking, which is why, let's say you're having trouble in your relationship. Okay. If you continue to focus your attention on all the things that your husband or your boyfriend or whatever is doing that pisses you off, you're only going to see more proof of that because that's what you're focusing on. And it's going to get worse and worse and worse. But no matter how bad the relationship is getting, if you focus on the good things that are happening, you know, because there are going to be some still, like maybe he put the toilet seat down, maybe he, you know, put his plate in the dishwasher, like what, it might be a small thing at first, but there's something, right? And even better, like Teresa said in episode 1, you control your own reality and everyone in your reality is part of your reality. So if you look at that person, even if they're being a complete dick to you, if you say, oh my God, I love my husband so much. He's such a great guy. He's so sweet. Look at us getting along so well. You do need to be a little bit delusional for this to work as effective as possible. I mean, you can, if you want to argue with us and you want to say, no, my reality is this, and it's going to take me time, fine. Then that's what's true for you. But if you want to listen to how to manifest as effectively and quickly as possible, because let's be real, we don't want results slowly. I mean, nobody does. Don't lie to me and tell me that you do. Everybody wants them fast. Everybody wants them immediately and yesterday. Being patient is the hardest part. And it is necessary some of the time. But the funny thing is, the more patient you can be, the faster it will come to. It's like a paradox there's a lot of paradoxes in manifesting, but okay.
yeah. And we have to see, it's like the oxygen and the blood flow, right, in our bodies. We need that to keep all of the different parts of our body alive. We starve it of oxygen, we starve it of blood flow. What happens? It dies off.
Yeah.
We have to realize, right, that giving our attention to things is like giving it oxygen, giving it the blood flow. As soon as you don't fucking pay attention to it, just like you said, when you stop paying attention to all the negative shit that your man does and focus on the good things, those things die off because it's your fucking reality. Whatever you're giving attention to stays. It solidifies in your fucking reality. You must starve it of your attention, which is where the venting comes in. When you're venting, you're giving all of these fucking problems your attention. You are feeding it, not even realizing it, right? If you absolutely feel like you have to say it. One and done. That's it. No more blood flow, no more oxygen. And you'll see how your reality starts changing because you're cutting these things off. You're not giving your attention. It cannot live without your attention.
That's right.
That's right.
And if you're going to give it your attention and if you're going to say it, one time, do it with intention. Like find somebody who you can say it to, who's actually going to give you, like, the best case scenario would be a coach, a mentor, a therapist, a counselor, like somebody who actually can help you, not just your friend. Because unfortunately, as well-intentioned as your friends are, they're biased, right? Obviously, they're going to take your side over anybody's. They're not generally friends unless they're a very, 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 very good friend. They're not going to tell you the truth. They're going to tell you what you want to hear, which adds to the fire, which is not productive. Like they're not going to say, hey, you know what though? Like devil's advocate for a second, see it from his side and see, X, Y, Z. They're not going to, I mean, they might, but probably not. Right.
Right.
And B, like you need to be, if you're going to say it at all, you need to be looking for solutions, right? You need to be sharing it with the intention of getting help. But let me tell you something else. Teresa and I already have experienced this on many, many occasions. You already have what you need inside of you. Like what you really should be doing is getting your journal out and asking your journal, which is really asking yourself or the higher power or whatever, you know, how did this happen? How can I fix it? Why, you know, what belief systems do I have that are still aligned with this? How can I, you know, what can I do to align myself with a higher version of myself? How can I switch this? You know what I mean? Like, if you're going to say, give it any attention at all, be productive about it, right? Be
Right.
intentional and productive about it.
And it's like, and I've found myself in isolation a lot lately
Mm-hmm.
because I'm
Yeah.
doing this. It's part of the fucking process, though. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? Like, it's, this is where you become the phoenix.
Yeah.
You're rising from the ashes through everything, right? So I, instead of venting now, I do sit there. I do get my pen and my paper out and I say, okay, where in my belief system did I cause this? No matter how anybody wants to look at it. You want to
Yeah.
blame people, it's you. It's all you. Like, I don't know
Yeah.
how much more clear to say that. It's all you. It all fucking leads back to you. We didn't make up these rules. I didn't make up these rules.
No.
But now that we've learned them, like, you're going to follow them. This is how the universe works.
Yeah.
It operates from your belief system. You know, I told somebody last time, I was like, I don't give a shit if they cut off your toe and it's bleeding. Don't pay attention. That's how
Don't
serious
even
I
look.
am. It
Yeah.
didn't happen. Don't
Yeah.
even look at it. I don't
Yeah.
care. I don't care what they did. It doesn't fucking matter. Where in your belief caused this? And if you pay attention to it, it's going to fucking stay.
Yeah. Well, and
That's how serious it is.
and being developing your self-awareness is key too, because what you'll start to notice is different patterns, right? The patterns are the key. Everything is a pattern, right? Either everything's working out for you and then it happens and then you have proof and then that pattern continues, or shit keeps hitting the fan. Negative people keep talking down. People keep saying, no, you can't do that. You know, your bills keep going overdue. You know, you keep getting fired from jobs. You keep like you keep finding guys who are not the right fit for you. Like you're the common denominator. The
Yep.
pattern is in you. You need to look at that and go, okay. And I'm not saying this to be like mean or like disempowering. Actually, if you have the right mindset, it's actually very empowering to know this. Because once you know it, I mean, you don't know what you don't know, like I said, right? But once you do know and you start to become aware of the pattern, and to be fair, it's not like you have to go hunting for bad patterns and limiting beliefs and all this. They will show themselves to you. It's your awareness that will make it known that that's the thing that you're supposed to be working on right now. And the thing that you're supposed to be working on now, the pattern that you're aware of, the limiting belief that you're aware of, this contrast that you're aware of, is what needs to be shifted and looked at and worked around in order to get to that next level. Like when you ask for an up level, when you ask for a manifestation, the version that you are when you ask is not the version of you are when you get it. So you need to do the work to get in line. And sometimes it's just reprogramming your beliefs. Sometimes it's releasing people out of your life. Sometimes it's acting in a different way. You know what I mean? Like there's no one answer, but the self-awareness is the key.
Yeah. I mean, who doesn't hear women all the time talking about all I attract is assholes, or, you know, every guy this, every guy that. If I have the energy, I'll sit there and I'll be like, hold on, can I get into your conversation really quick?
Just pause for a second. Yeah.
It's all your self-concept.
All
You've
of it,
attracted,
everything.
yes, you are attracting this. You are absolutely 100 fucking percent right. But why?
Yeah.
Because of your beliefs. And these beliefs have been created from childhood all the way through. Maybe it's things that you've seen, you know. Maybe you didn't see no good example of a man in your life or a marriage or whatever it is. So yeah, it's true. That is what you experience in the 3D. That's the truth. That's what you saw your whole life. But it's your choice to take that on as a belief or be like, no, there's a fucking ton of men out there who are amazing. There's a ton of men out there who are protectors and providers. Shit, they're finding me by the thousands right now. They're coming out of the woodworks. Every corner I turn, the exact man that I'm looking for. When we start flipping these things, we start speaking something, thinking something different, it fucking starts to appear. It appears. There's no way around self-concept work.
No.
You know, and going through the subconscious to see. And I don't even think you have to go through it, honestly. I feel like the subliminals do a lot. I'm
Oh, yeah.
really pro subliminal 100
Yeah.
million percent. Like,
Yeah, me too.
and
Yeah.
you're sleeping. It's reprogramming your subconscious mind while you're sleeping. There's so many different ones. There's ones on relationships. There's one on, your self-worth. There's ones on becoming a millionaire, bringing in riches, being a money magnet. Everything. There's one if you want to change something about your looks, your physical appearance, your facial features. You can
Yeah.
do all of these things. That's how powerful we are.
Oh yeah,
We can do all of them.
I follow one girl on YouTube. She used to be Stargirl. Now she goes by Anita Serene. She said that she wishes she knew about her power before she got plastic surgery, because she's like, I could have done it without going under a knife at all, but I didn't know then
Mm-hmm.
that I could do it. And this is why I actually started making, I don't offer them all the time, but I started offering custom subliminal messages where I make the affirmations based on what you're telling me that you want, because why not reprogram your mind while you're sleeping? You can listen to it while you're doing the dishes, while you're like, I picked up crocheting recently, and it occurred to me yesterday. I was like, shit, man, I should be listening to my subliminals while I'm doing this, because I'm just sitting here. I'm not really, like, even if we're watching a movie, I'm not really paying attention because I'm counting stitches and you know what I mean? So I was like, I should be listening to subliminals while I'm doing this. This is dumb that I'm sitting here with nothing.
I always tell everybody, get yourself a pair of earbuds.
Yeah, just walk around with your earbuds in.
Because of the fact that,
Seriously.
like, especially if you don't have people around you who are doing this work that are going to be there filling your mind constantly with positivity and things that you need to help you grow, to create your reality. It's a must. It's a must, because we're always thinking. We can't shut it off. Your thoughts don't ever fucking get shut off. So it's so important for you to have something in your ear 24/7 that's keeping you on track. I do it myself.
Yeah.
My thoughts start to shift from what I'm creating at the moment. Earbuds.
Yeah.
And I fucking love it. I enjoy it though.
Yeah.
It makes me feel good. It has me in a high vibration all day long. Everybody already around me knows, like, if I lose my earbuds, I'm going crazy.
Well, and you know what?
I already have like 4 pairs right now.
Just like, well, my cat keeps freaking cats. Anyway, I need to get new ones. But even just the fact that, like, I love that you said that, because before you even get into what the subliminal is reprogramming you, to believe, you have already in that moment decided, no, this reality is not what I want. I'm going to take it into my own hands and I'm going to program my mind with what I do want. And just in that act alone makes a difference. And what Teresa just said about, having people in your reality, I know when you first, I mean, I'm generalizing, but this was true for me. It was true for Teresa. It's probably true for people watching either right now or previously. When you first start this work, it's very lonely, because you start to question your own sanity. Like I did. I was just like, my husband was totally not on board with it at all. I remember he was like, you're fucking crazy. Like he would, like, literally, this is like one of my famous stories. He literally would tell me to not talk about manifesting, law of attraction, anything in public, because he was afraid somebody was going to overhear our conversation, call child services, and have my kid taken from me. Yes. Yep. Yes. And then several years later, even after he got on board with it, we were hiking one time. So the three of us are hiking and we're off in the woods somewhere. And I started saying something about manifesting, or I was bringing up part of like an ongoing conversation we were having. And he literally was listening to what I was saying. And then he turned around to see if there was anybody on the trail. I was like, no. And he's like, well, just in case. I'm like, what are you talking about? So when you're getting going, it is lonely. Like you have to surround yourself with people, probably online. It's probably going to be, podcast episodes like this. It's going to be, other people on, even like Mel Robbins and Tony Robbins, and people who, Dean Graziosi, people who believe in the power of intention and, deliberate action, people who believe in manifesting. Like you need to spend your time absorbing content from people who are on the same wavelength as you, because it is lonely. And I remember at first
it has to be ones that are about manifestation and reality creation. Not, this is what I realized, it can't just be motivational, because a lot of them are still like stuck in the 3D. They
and
still
hustle and
believe,
work hard and all
it's
that.
going to
Yeah,
take you 2 years when you first start a business to
that's true.
even, get a return of income. It's going to take you 10 years before you could become a fucking millionaire,
Yeah,
but get
you don't want
off,
to listen to those
off your
people.
ass and start 5
No,
o'clock in the morning and work harder.
no.
No, it's not. Like, it's not about working fucking harder. It's about shifting your mindset.
Yes, you're right. That's
It's
true.
a lot easier.
Yes.
And from the people that, I have been in their training recently, I mean, she went from being broke, an Uber driver, to her thing was she first started off with 20,000 a month. That's what she kept writing down. She started off with scripting. Now she just does visualization. It's easy because she's already felt into it, right?
Right.
The repeating the affirmations over and over. Now these things come normal to her where she doesn't feel that she has to write stuff out.
Right.
But within, I want to say it was 60 days, she hit the 20K. Somebody who's still in 3D thinking, that's not even a possibility. That's
Yeah.
not, you're not being realistic.
Yeah,
Right?
exactly.
That's
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
not realistic. If you think that you're
Yeah.
going to hit 20K in 60 days, you're not being realistic. But there's proof
Yeah.
everywhere.
Yeah.
And like, yeah, all I know is that by the end of this year, wow.
I mean, I
Wow.
yeah, this
That's
whole
all I
year
have to
is like,
say.
I just keep saying to my clients, like, I don't know, buckle up, man, because I don't know. Like, I don't know what's going to happen, but I know it's going to be amazing and I'm excited about it. But yeah, you're right. You have to surround yourself with people who are speaking the same reality creation truths that you want. And for me, when I
Yes.
was getting started, I did question my sanity a little bit, but then I was like, you know what? Even if I am going totally loony, I'm gonna go happy. You know what I mean? Like this is not the worst way to go. If I have to be locked up for thinking that, the law of attraction and manifesting and all this, like fine, lock me up then. It obviously ended up being fine. But for me, I find and this is like a tip for anybody who has people in your life that you really want to have on board with you. Like my husband, I really wanted him on board, but you can't push and poke and preach. It doesn't work that way. What I have found most effective is to point out when they have manifested something. So for us, the example was our boat, which of course we sold before we moved to Nicaragua. But so Derek had been wanting a boat. And then one day out of nowhere, his buddy needed to sell his boat because he had some bridge toll tickets needed to pay and all this stuff. So he needed to sell unneeded things, right? So he sold his boat to my in-laws. And then the boat was just sitting in our driveway. We took it out like one time, all of us, and it just sat for like a year and a half. It just sat there. Nobody took it. We couldn't take it by ourselves, but they never wanted to go and the whole thing. And I remember we were walking by it one day to go to the truck. And Derek's like, man, I really wish my parents would just give me the boat because I would use it. And it's just sitting here not being used, right? Literally 6 or 7 days later, they give him the keys. It was his birthday, but they give him the keys and they say, you know what? We want you to have the boat because you're going to use it way more than we do. We know you would enjoy it. Da, 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 da. And so when we were alone, I looked at him and I go, you realize you manifested this boat, right? And he's like, yes, I can see that. And that was the beginning of it. But what I have found, it works if you want to get other people on board, for me, what's been easiest, I hope it is the same for you, is that you be aware and point out opportunities when they have called something into existence, because then they can see what happened and how it happened. And then it wasn't hard. They just said that that's what they wanted. And then the universe delivered it through the path of least resistance. And it's not always 6 days. Sometimes it's immediately. Sometimes it's a month. Sometimes it's a year, but it will come. And if you point it out to them, I find it easier for them to swallow and get on board with it.
Right. And we've been manifesting since the beginning of time. We've been manifesting since we were born. I think about that too. Like, dang, every time I thought about something, my parents would bring it home. Literally.
Yeah.
I didn't have no cell phone to call them. I couldn't be like, hey, I want this, or I wanted this snack, or I'm thinking about a certain food. Oh, you know what? Hey, guess what? We weren't going for this, but we brought these home for you.
Yeah.
Now I think about it like, holy shit, I've been powerful since way back when, even some things that were not so good. And this is where we have to be very careful with our thoughts, because the universe, our higher selves, our subconscious doesn't say, oh, that's bad, you can't have that one. oh, that's a negative thought. Oh, we're not going to deliver that to you. No, it doesn't
No,
say that. It's whatever the fuck we're thinking and speaking, it's delivering.
no. And
Period.
I've got a good example of that. So years ago, I was, not that this is really relevant, but I was working at a hotel like years ago. And it was actually the host hotel for the 2010 Olympics, which was really awesome actually. So I was working graveyard shifts, which was 10 p.m. to 6:30 a.m. that whole time, because it just made more sense for my schedule because I was commuting so far. And then when I went back after, like, back to regular hours, I was doing this weird thing where I was doing 2 nights, an afternoon, which was like 10 or 11 to, I don't know, whatever that, 5 or 6 or whatever, or 7. And then a 7 a.m. and then a 6 a.m. shift. And I had 2 days off and then go back to graveyards. And so it was throwing off my circadian rhythm and I couldn't sleep. Right. So, and I was going a little bit mental actually. So my doctor gave me, like, seriously, I was going a little bit crazy. So my doctor gave me 2 weeks off, 2 weeks off work, I think. Yeah. Give me 2 weeks off work. Okay, fine. So I adjusted to my schedule. That was fine, whatever. I go back to work, but I guess, I don't remember actually saying it, but I don't think, I know I didn't want to go back to work, and I don't think I was ready to go back to work, because what happened just a few days later, I was rear-ended in traffic and had to take another 2-3 weeks off work because now I have a concussion and I can't work. So you have to be fucking careful about what you ask for, because the universe will deliver it to you. Just a lot of the times we get it in a way that we don't want. Like I had a friend of mine, she really wanted to take 2 days off of work to do something. And she didn't end up booking it off. And then she ended up getting sick. So she had the days off anyway.
I mean, I don't remember when me and you were taught this either, about asking for money with grace and ease.
Oh yeah.
And she was talking about when you don't ask for it, these people kept getting into car accidents over and over.
I got into a car accident and got money that way. Yeah.
Yeah. Not realizing, oh my gosh.
No. With grace and ease, everything.
With grace and ease, in your highest and best good. And I now add that I ask for things of the light.
I like that.
And let me tell you why. I was reading a book. I can't say too much about it today because the day of the week that it is, but I was reading a book, and as I was reading the book, I was like, God, like, I wish that a teacher, like a real life teacher, can appear for this kind of teaching. It's very deep. How do I explain what it was? It was really about like manipulating energy on a whole different level and awakening like our Kundalini energy and stuff like that. And somebody appeared, and I asked them, how did you find me? Where did you come from? Well, you prayed for me the other day while you were reading the book. And I was like, whoa. And literally, like, I thought it was one of my friends just fucking with me, because they knew all about my life and everything. And then I was like, no, he told me, he said, video chat me. You don't know me. Video chatted. And sure enough, he's like, looks like, how do you explain, like in the clothes that monks wear with the beads and everything. And I was like, oh shit, like, this is some real deal. Like, you don't know me. I don't know you. And it turned out that he was not from the light. It was a very crazy experience that we'll talk about on a whole nother episode. But we are not just living a human life, especially the chosen ones, those of us who have been chosen to awaken to this information. We're light workers, we're star seeds, we're here on a huge fucking mission. We are attacked by the darkness. We are under spiritual warfare. I'm not the type of person who's in church every Sunday, or do I go to church at all? Like, I have my own connection straight to source. But just of the light, everything you ask for a teacher, right? Because when the students are ready, the teachers appear, but we want to make sure that they are of the light. Let me just, and that's a huge thing that's been coming up too, is like just protecting our energy on a daily basis. And it's something as simple as just when you get up in the morning, I surround myself in the white light. whatever your beliefs in protection are, put it up.
Yeah, no, definitely. And I always, for the highest and best of all involved, like I have been saying that, we've both been saying that for ease and grace and for the highest and best of all involved, because everything, I mean, whether you realize it or not, everything you manifest will come through another being, right? So it's my belief, and it's something that I choose to believe, that everything that I manifest will benefit the other person too, or the other people, or the people that I'm going to then share it with, or whatever, right? Like even all this gong show in Nicaragua and all this, right? Like for the highest and best of all involved, the people that were involved in my life there, the people that are involved in my life during, after, before, everybody, right? And
Right.
like I said, my relationship with my husband is better than it's ever been. My relationship with my in-laws is like back to the beginning of when we, first became a family, highest and best of all involved. This is like, I feel like when you manifest things of the light, with ease and grace and for the highest and best of all involved, it puts that good intention out, and you're saying like, look, I do want this, but I also want it to benefit other people. I'm not just being, selfish and self-serving here. I want it to benefit everybody. Like even the vehicle we just bought, right? Like for the highest and best of all involved, the guy we bought, I wanted to buy it from a person who I, like and want to benefit as well. Because I mean, they get commission, obviously, right? So like, let's be real. So, and the guy we bought the vehicle from was quite nice. The guy that was approached us at the dealership, a couple of dealerships before that, sleazeball. Like I could just tell. I was like, ew, he just like came out of nowhere like a snake. I was like, ew, gross. I don't know. It's like not my jam.
Yeah. I know we kind of jump around when we have these conversations and stuff, but I want to jump a little bit more too, because it's been, I get a lot of messages, they send me messages, spirit gives me downloads and stuff like that.
I love your downloads. They benefit me all the time. All the time. You're like, hey, by the way, they told me to tell you this. Oh, okay, good.
I know. I'm just like, I'm the messenger. I asked for this position. One of the things that has been really coming in hot for me is just like relationships and marriages right now, because we are under spiritual warfare. You must pray over your marriage. You must pray over your relationship. Through my experience, there are so many people who are bitter and wish, when they see other people who are in a good position, a good marriage, a good relationship, it literally angers them. And the experience that I've had recently is black magic is real. Like there's people out there doing black magic. And I've seen with my own eyes, women who want somebody's husband or somebody's boyfriend, and they go to a practitioner and they get them. And I was just like, whoa, like yesterday, spirit was just coming in hot in my mind. There's so many moving parts to this existence that we're in right now.
Yeah.
You must fucking pray over your marriage, over your relationship, over your partner's mind, their health. Especially for the ones like, Derek is somewhat on board and somewhat not. And it's like, is he protecting his energy? Probably not. People who are not protecting their energy and a low vibration, you're food for this fucking black magic. You're food for entities, demonic attachments. This shit, the black magic and all that, and these things that the practitioners do to take your husband or kill your relation, they cannot work if you're protected energetically. It cannot work when you're in a high vibration. It can't stick to you. It bounces off. You're not a vibrational match to the things, but when you're in a low vibration, absolutely. I've watched it, people get taken over. It's absolutely insane.
Man,
and this was something that spirit keeps saying, you need to let them know right now. You need to let them know. Start protecting what they have energetically, so it's not destroyed. Because then you're like, fuck, well, we had a good marriage, I don't even know what happened, and then so and so came in and he's gone. I know it sounds crazy, but
no, but you know what,
all of this fucking sounded crazy at one point.
It's true, but you know what, I literally, and I don't know if it was black magic, I don't know what it is, but I saw Derek go into a very dark place when we were in Nicaragua. He was in a dark fucking place. He didn't, I mean, there was a lot of things going on too. He didn't want to leave. He knew that we were not happy there. There was a lot. I mean, and there's other things that I'm not even going to get into, but there was a lot of shit going on. And I saw him at one point. He was like, "I'm sick of your fucking everything's always working out for me bullshit, law of attraction, manifesting shit like that." But and I'm just like, it was. And then the reason I'm sharing this is because I know he'll be upset if he hears me saying it. But the thing is, I'm sharing it because it was not him fucking talking. I was like, it was weird. I was looking at him and I'm just like, who is this person? Like, what is even happening right now?
Yeah.
Because up until, a month before this, he's on board with me. We will go through, like, okay, you're on the highway and you're driving and there's a traffic pile up, but you just happen to go right through. He'll look at me and smile because we know everything's always working out for us. We go into the coffee shop, we order, and all of a sudden there's a line of 20 people behind us. We smile, everything's always working out. And then all of a sudden he's being this, I was like, what the fuck is happening? It was
okay. See,
crazy.
so you understand why I follow the nudges, right? I'm coming from left field right now.
No, it was
saying,
crazy.
hey, I'm getting a download. Spirit is wanting me to speak on this right now. The devil comes to kill, steal, and destroy. Right? The more that we are distracted, the more we cannot focus on our purpose.
Well, that's too, because I couldn't focus on anything. You and I talked about this. I couldn't get nothing done. I couldn't. I wasn't homeschooling properly. I couldn't get any business things done. Nothing. It was like I was like corked up. I don't know. I couldn't, and I'm not trying to blame it on him. I'm just saying, like, it's very fucking distracting.
No, it's not even blaming. It's not even blaming at all. Here's the shit. Those of us that are awake, we must pray for our husbands. We must pray for our boyfriends. We must pray for our family. We must protect them until they come into an awakening themselves. If we do not, we're leaving ourselves open and susceptible to fucking demons. Literally. Yeah. I'm not saying that your husband is demonic or anybody else, right? People always talk about, oh, I'm fighting my demons. I'm fighting my demons. You just fucking saying it because you're having a hard time in life, not realizing that there are a bunch of fucking different demonic spirits that attach to people and cause them to act certain fucking ways. When you see your person being out of character, and you feel it, your intuition is saying there's something fucking weird going on here. Like this is not my person. I guarantee you it's not your fucking person.
No, I remember he was going off one time and I'm looking at him like, what the fuck? Like, it was like I was looking at somebody wearing a costume that looked like my husband. It was fucked. Literally. I was like, I don't even know what's happening right now. This is like crazy.
It's huge right now. Okay. This energy coming in. Why? Because us light workers, us starseeds, we're literally born to fucking raise the level of consciousness of the whole goddamn planet, not just ourselves. As we raise ours, we start raising everybody else around us. We start waking everyone up around us. Look at what we're doing today, right now. Look how many fucking things try to stop us, period. Right? But we're on this, I don't give a fuck mode. Ain't no motherfucking thing in existence going to stop me from getting from where I desire to go, period. But these demons know that. They know. They know the number one way to get to us is by the people closest to us. Right? Because you don't give a fuck about nobody else outside your house. Right? I don't care what people say. I don't care what people think. No. But if it's somebody who's close to me that I love, and I'm trying to build a life with, especially, and they come out of left field acting crazy, not on board with me, saying that I'm fucking crazy or just going against you, period, what you experienced.
Yeah. Just anything,
That fucks you up in the head. That puts you in your head. That, like you said, you couldn't think. You cannot think. You're so busy trying to figure out how the people closest to you can be acting this way, treating you like this when you do nothing but love and adore them. You just want to help them, guide them into a more beautiful life, a future. You're like, what the fuck is going on? How is this my family? My family's doing this. My partner's doing this. It makes no fucking sense. Right?
And it's draining too. I had no energy. I was kind of like just laying around doing nothing. I didn't have energy to do anything.
And the experience that I had with the teacher, he possessed people around me.
Oh, Jesus.
He showed me fucking clearly. So that changed my whole perspective on this whole reality in general. I even told him, I said, okay, so what you just did right now, you just fucking possessed somebody to prove a point to me, to show me your power. But then what is fucking reality then?
Yeah.
How many people are walking around possessed right now and have no fucking idea? That's where my head went right away.
Yeah. Wait a
How
minute.
many people?
Yeah.
Wait, how many people close to me? Then I'm like, oh my gosh, this person lashes out at me. That person lashes out at me. They fucking have demonic possession and not even realizing it. So what I've been doing, not only cleansing my own energy, not only protecting my own energy, but for them too. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
This is what the fuck we signed up for. This is what we came here for. More, it's like, Teresa, you're telling me I got more responsibility on my goddamn plate? Yeah, the fuck you do. I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
Christ.
You
Yeah.
chose this. You know, we
Yeah.
chose these positions here on earth. And you have no choice. If you don't fucking do this work, if you don't protect their energy, if you don't pray over them, you don't anoint your home, then you're open. You're food for these demons now. You're making your path harder, you know, and they come in and they fuck with your mind, man. It's like, we're
1,000%.
talking about the belief system. We're talking about everything in this universe. Reality creation operates off of our belief systems. They'll come in real quick and tell you how you're not worthy of shit. You'll never be anything. Look at the people around you. Look at how they don't fucking love you. Look at how they don't appreciate you.
Well,
It gets you
and
going.
and simple things like, oh, it's already, 23 days into the month and you're nowhere near your goal for this month. And oh,
Mm-hmm.
here we are again. And da 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 da. And now that's just, see, I told you you couldn't do it and things like that. And it's just like, hey, whoa, like I don't need, because as you know, we've got enough limiting shit going on from
Right.
childhood and all this. And then you get, haters getting in on there too. And now you've got to worry about your energy also. It's just like, holy man. That's why this work is so important though. That's why you need to be self-aware. That's why you need to be reprogramming your mind. You need to brainwash yourself before somebody else can,
Yeah.
right?
And
Like
see, and this
seriously.
is, thank God I've done so much self-concept work. And excuse me, I could tell now when I'm being spiritually attacked.
Hmm.
I know immediately when the thoughts start coming in, when the people start acting a certain way around me. I was like, okay, I know what the fuck this is, you know, but I stay connected to my higher self. My higher self comes right in and is like, you know what needs to be done. Do what you got to do.
Mhm.
Get on it. Whereas before, I'd be like, oh my God, this is true. I am a piece of shit. I'm not worthy of that. Yeah, nobody in my reality supports me. Oh my gosh, I am here alone. Oh yeah, no, I've always failed. Oh, here I'm failing again. That's bullshit. It's bullshit. But that's why it's so important for you to truly know who the fuck you are and
Yeah.
don't waver. I don't waver no more. You can't tell me otherwise. You know what I'm saying? Like,
No.
there's nobody that could tell me who I am. Oh, and that's another thing too, is like, what was coming up is allowing your people to use your past against you, or people who do use your past against you or hold you to
Oh my
all of
God.
that. You know what I mean? It's, how many people stay stuck not forgiving themselves? I've come
Oh,
across a lot of people the last few weeks that I've done Reiki for, and they're so stuck in feeling that they have to punish themselves for the things that they did on their journey. And I'm like,
when they
no,
didn't
you
know any
don't.
better anyway.
You
Yeah.
didn't know better. Forgive them, Father, for they know not what they do. We
Yeah.
don't know what we don't fucking know. And that's another thing. When we sit there and we beat ourselves up over and over and over for shit that we cannot change, it's already done. We're putting ourselves again back in that same reality again. That's another thing holding
Mhm.
us trapped.
Yeah.
At this point, anybody who is always bringing up my past or using it against me, you don't fucking hurt me. There's nothing in my past that anyone can use against me that can hurt me. And I've done some shit, but I know that every single one of those pieces has created the woman that I am today.
Exactly.
Somebody asked me, do you have any regrets? No, I'm sorry that people got hurt in the process. But if I took back any of those fucking pieces, I'd be missing a piece of myself.
Yeah.
And I
Well, you
love who
wouldn't
the
be who
fuck I
you are
am
now
today.
at all. Yeah.
I love who I am today. And how do you know that you're healing? Well, when things don't fucking trigger you anymore. You know, somebody brought up my past not that long ago and I just laughed about it. I was like, damn, you're that fucking retarded. Like that's all you can do. Like you're so stuck on that. Yeah. Guess what, bitch? I did fucking do X, Y, and Z, and I will do it again. I will do it again because I love who the fuck I am today. Every single bit ugly, beautiful, and different. I needed every one of those fucking pieces.
Well, and not
We
only
all need
you.
every piece.
Yeah, I was just going to say they need it too. And I mean, we have to we'll have to go into this another day. But you know, when you're talking about agreeing to be in these roles and soul contracts and deciding who you're going to be before you come here, like we all agreed to all of that before we even came here. It's part of, you know, and I'm not proud of some of the things I've done too, you know, but at the same time, it's like, but A, I'm not that person anymore. B, like you said, it had to happen that way for me to be who I am now. And C, whoever I did it to, and I'm not trying to, I want to make it very clear. Teresa and I are not trying to not take accountability or responsibility for what we've done. All we're saying is everything that has happened was supposed to happen. It needed to happen. I'm not proud of some of the things that I did, but at the same time, I wouldn't be who I am today if it wasn't for that. And Teresa wouldn't be who she is, and you wouldn't be who you are, everybody watching. And so what's the point in rehashing it and feeling shitty about it? All you're doing is potentially projecting it into your future instead of going, okay, the past is the past. And the past can stay there. I hate it. I literally was just talking to Teresa the other day about somebody who's bringing up the past and projecting into the future and trying to mitigate because this is what's been happening. It's like, okay, but it doesn't have to happen that way again, though. But if you continue to focus on it like that, that's exactly what the fuck's going to happen. So you better stop. It's so annoying.
Yeah. Everything is just lessons. Everything was lessons. Every single thing was lessons. So again, we go, what do we, you know, bits and pieces here. We talked about victim mentality. We talked about telling the same stories over and over. All of that is part of holding on to the past too. You know what I'm saying? It's like victim mentality. Why me? Why did this happen to me? Poor me, poor me, poor me. No, fuck, shit. Damn, I went through that. Whoa, that happened because X, Y, and Z. Guess what? Before I went through darkness, I didn't have compassion for people. I didn't have understanding of anything in this damn world before it. Okay, there we go. I could sit there and I could feel sorry for myself that I went through all of it, or I can shift my perspective, right? Which shifts our whole fucking reality. No more victim mentality. No more telling the old stories. And anybody who wants to hold you to your past, get them the fuck out of your life.
Yeah, it's just not
straight up.
Like
there's no ifs, ands, buts. You want to keep holding me to my past and all these things, then you know what? You're stuck to that old version of me. She doesn't exist anymore. Neither do you. Sorry.
I mean, that's it.
It's that fucking simple.
Bye. That's it.
We're either going to move forward with this, you know, and create this new reality. And don't get me wrong, just like you said, it's not that we're not taking accountability. I take full 100,000,000% accountability for anything and everything I've ever done, and for people that I've hurt along the way. And I've acknowledged their pain in the process. But I said, hey, I'm not going to sit here. I'm going to acknowledge it. And I'm getting so many downloads right now. There's so many people right now who are punishing themselves over and over and allowing other people to punish them over and over and over. And it's not fucking okay. You should not keep feeling bad and allowing people to treat you some kind of way because you hurt them at some point in time. Do you know what I'm saying? It's like
100%. And I have a great example of this. We have a family friend who's in her, I don't know, late 60s now. Okay. When she was like 19 or 20, got pregnant out of wedlock and aborted the baby. Okay. And I'm talking like, you know, like old black market, like wire coat hanger style. Okay. Like whatever. I don't know, not literally, but you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And so this is like 40 years. And every bad thing that happens, she's like, this is because I got an abortion. I'm being punished because I got an abortion. 45 years she's been living like this. It's like, I understand that that's very traumatic, and I'm very sorry you went through that. And you know what I mean? But holy God, like you really think that you're going to be punished for 45 years?
And therefore, she keeps going through punishments
Yes,
because the
exactly.
subconscious mind is to keep
Yeah.
showing you proof of what you fucking believe.
Exactly.
Not even.
And it's so sad because it's like you could just leave, like, okay, you made a mistake. Whether the mistake was the pregnancy or the abortion, who knows? Like, who's to say, right? In her life, obviously, it worked out the way it was supposed to, but however she sees it, like, just forgive yourself and move on. Like, I realize that's a touchy subject, right? Like, I get it, but at the same time, like, you don't deserve to be punished for yourself or other people, or
Right.
thinking that God doesn't punish you guys.
Mm-mm.
That doesn't
Mm-mm.
no, it doesn't work that
No.
way.
And just, if you choose to take on that belief that you deserve to be punished, therefore you will be.
Yeah,
It's
that's
simple,
it.
as simple as that.
Because back to the basics, what you believe, you must experience. It's literally
Yep.
a rule. You have to. What you believe, you will experience. So that's why we're saying shift your perspective, reprogram your mind, change your self-concept, because that is how you will change what you're experiencing, by changing all
Say
of that.
say that a couple more times, just so
Yeah.
like the people in the back can fucking
Yeah.
really hear this.
Shift
What you
your reality.
believe,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Yeah.
We must experience too, right?
Yeah.
We're
What
shifting
you
our
believe,
reality. Like,
yeah, you have to. Like, it's law. It's universal law. What you believe is what you will experience. Not even what you will, what you have to experience. You
what you
cannot
have
experience
to,
anything that you
what you
don't believe.
have to.
Yeah.
It has to fucking show up. It is spiritual law.
And that's why
It
manifestation
has
is so
to
fun.
fucking show up. Let that sink in, you guys. What you believe has to fucking show up. You know what I believe? I'm the first fucking multimillionaire in my goddamn family. That
Boom.
bitch has to show up. What did I believe? That I'm a motivational speaker? What did I believe? That I am going to change so many lives, touch so many fucking lives? I've been believing this. It's happening.
Yeah.
Watch. I mean, that it's like dream big, shoot past the fucking stars. Shoot past. Yeah. Why would I even say multimillionaire? Billionaire. What you believe, you have to receive. It doesn't matter whether it's small, it's big, or nothing. There's no difference between them.
No.
None. None.
No.
So what are y'all going to believe from here on
I love
out?
it. Yeah, that's it, right? What are you going to believe? Because what you believe, you have to experience. That's like the bottom line. So that's a good place to leave it for today. I hope that you guys have been taking notes or we'll replay this or whatever, because I'm telling you, there's so many gold nuggets. And this is why we were saying we cannot have conversations anymore that are not recorded, because they will benefit, because this is like just a normal conversation that we would have anyway.
Literally.
You know what I mean? So this is why we need to record it. So I hope that you will continue to tune in on Tuesdays for the magic that is our conversations. So with that, thank you guys so much for hanging out with us. Everybody who is here live, anybody watching on the replay, I would love it if you would let us know that you're watching on the replay so we can say hi and connect with you. Thank you so, so much. And we will see you next week.
Bye.